The Gamasutra job board is the most diverse, active and established board of its kind for the video game industry. Here is just one of the many positions being advertised right now. Location: Marine Del Rey, California. Skydance Interactive is looking for a senior gameplay engineer to join our TypeNet studio. In this position, you will be responsible for maintaining and extending major game subsystems, creating and optimizing gameplay elements, and working with the design team to implement ideas while providing technical and creative feedback. At Skydance Interactive, we believe that a small, focused, and dedicated team of talented people can create exceptional games. Responsibilities, requirements. Interested? Apply now. Whether you are just starting out, looking for something new, or just seeing what's out there, the Gamasutra job board is the place where game developers move ahead in their careers. Gamasutra's job board is the most diverse, most active, and most established board of its kind in the video game industry, serving companies of all sizes, from indie to AAA. Looking for a new job? Get started here. Are you a recruiter looking for talent? Post jobs here. Game approvals have once again been halted in China, as the State Administration of Press and Publications (SAP) attempts to clear the backlog created by last year's 9-month licensing freeze, as reported by the South China Morning Post, which claims to have information from a company executive with knowledge of the matter. SAP has not given any indication as to how long the new hiatus will last. Game companies will still be able to hand applications over to local regulators, but that's precisely where they will stay until SAP has worked through its backlog. It's a worrying report for developers and publishers in the region. The last freeze lasted for the majority of 2018, and came as the result of an internal power reshuffling that eventually saw SAP take control of the approval process. Over that period, the Chinese video game market witnessed its slowest first-half growth in a decade, and heavy-hitters like Tencent even felt the effects, with the company suffering a share drop of 5% in the back end of 2018. Since the turn of the year, over 350 games have received approval, including some from main players Tencent and NetEase. But now it looks like the country could be thrown back into limbo if the licensing process is halted for any reason more than to give the SAP a chance to clear out the backlog. That will be a disappointment to game developers, publishers and gamers, commented Lisa Hansen, founder of market research outfit Nico Partners. The new freeze could possibly hurt publisher earnings if they need to endure a prolonged wait for their return on investment in titles in their pipeline that they had anticipated to be released in China already are in the near future. We are hopeful that this is a procedural halting and will soon be resolved. We have cancelled the open-world Star Wars game in development at Vancouver. As reported by Kotaku, the title was being built using some of the assets from Viscero's scrapped Star Wars project, which was handed over to Vancouver after the studio's closure in 2017. According to those familiar with the matter, the work-in-progress title codenamed Orca will see players take on the role of a bounty hunter, a Han Solo-esque scoundrel, and explore various open-world planets populated with different factions. While it sounds promising on paper, Orca was still very early on in development, and after looking at its roadmap, the next few years apparently decided to scrap the project in favor of a smaller Star Wars game that could be on shelf sooner. It's unclear what shape the new scaled-down title will take, but he is apparently keen to release it towards the end of 2020. Fortunately, those people who spoke to Kotaku said nobody had been laid off as a result of the cancellation, and some even believe that Oka might eventually see the light of day after it has finished work on its new project. 10 years ago in 2009, the word influencer did not bear much weight. Our most watched YouTube video was Susan Boyle singing her heart out, and Facebook had only just become cash positive. As a company, social media wasn't what it is today, with traditional media forms still dominating gaming. Reviews and articles circulated in magazines on TV as often as they did online, and we still bought a majority of games from brick-and-mortar stores, lining up for our precious midnight release collector's editions. While influencer as a word has been around since the mid-1600s, it was not a job title according to the dictionary until 2016. Obviously, a lot has changed. There is something we have missed, though the degree to which influencer culture has shaped our media consumption over time, and is doing so more than ever in our present day. The millennial childhood was a constant barrage of technology, consoles, games, mediums, access, often growing up in the age of the internet and the birth of memes, making for a consumer generation that is constantly looking to be the first to tell you how great a movie was, or how good a TV series is. Remember liking bands before they were cool? Yup, we need to be first. With limited access to strong download speeds, a lot of these firsts spread by word of mouth. Listening to songs on shared headphones, or crowding around a PC to look at a weird website, a funny junk video, as YouTube influencers began to appear with viral content, like while you are Jenny and NAMA BLDS, and Shan dozens. Slowly but surely we began to cultivate an entirely new form of relationship. Just like those friends we crowded around a PC with, we began to engage with consistent content from specific people. Often, the content did not matter, it was like catching up with a friend. Millennials in 2019 are now aged between 23 and 38, quite far from youthful. Irresponsible immediately are often loaded within the middle, with one of the biggest markets, purchasing PC games, being 35-year-olds. Millennials make up the largest chunk of the PC gaming audience. They are also increasingly seen as burned out, possibly due to the hangover of going from delayed and fragmented interactions to constant connection and always-on culture in the space of years. They are constantly seeking nostalgia, perhaps desperate for the simpler times above, and emotional intimacy but unsure how to achieve it. A rise in apps like Tinder, replacing conventional dating methods, coupled with nostalgia for the age of instant messenger log-on log-off has left millennials desperate to find ways to fulfill these needs. However, they are more anxious and terrified than ever before. Instead, we look to spaces online, where the onus of this intimacy is on the influencer, a content creator. Without engaging with all of these factors have contributed to the value of the influencer, and seem to be interacting in new and strange ways. There are NUMEROUSARTICLASANDSTUDIST all show their impact on us as consumers. Their content is often easy to digest, so we can comfortably enjoy the second-hand nostalgia and intimacy. Now, with stronger access to personal computers to the point they are in our hands, better internet connections, and a more global landscape than ever before, we have Netflix, Kindle Unlimited, Apple Music, Spotify, Reader subscriptions, comic subscriptions, food subscriptions, everything else. become an accessible service where we are guaranteed to have access to something on a schedule, and more often than not, an entire tier above, new and exclusive.
G